Anduril Industries burst onto the defense technology scene in 2017 with all the subtlety of a Silicon Valley startup crashing a Pentagon cocktail party. Founded by Palmer Luckey, the wunderkind behind Oculus VR, Anduril set out to revolutionize the staid world of defense contracting with a bold vision. Privately financed R&D and software-defined systems that would make traditional defense giants look like they were still using carrier pigeons. Luckey, fresh from his Facebook exit and armed with a bank account that could probably fund a small nation's defense budget, decided that what the military-industrial complex really needed was a dose of Silicon Valley disruption, because nothing says national security quite like moving fast and breaking things, right? Anduril's founding principles read like a tech bro's fever dream of military innovation. Cutting-edge AI? Check. Autonomous systems that make Skynet look like a friendly chatbot? Double check. A business model that has traditional defense contractors clutching their cost-plus pearls? Triple check. The company's approach to R&D was particularly revolutionary. While established defense contractors were content to wait for government funding to trickle down like molasses in January, Anduril decided to bankroll its own research. This meant they could develop new technologies at a pace that made traditional defense timelines look like geological epics. Anduril's emphasis on software-defined systems was another shot across the bow of the defense establishment. In a world where military hardware often became obsolete faster than smartphone models, Anduril proposed a radical idea. What if we could update our defense systems as easily as downloading the latest app? This approach promised to turn lumbering defense projects into agile, adaptable platforms that could evolve with emerging threats. But perhaps the most audacious aspect of Anduril's vision was its aim to challenge the entrenched giants of the defense industry. These were companies that had been building warships and fighter jets since before Luckey was born, with government connections deeper than the Mariana Trench. Anduril waltzed in, propeller beanie spinning, declaring it would revolutionize defense technology with the power of Silicon Valley innovation and a dash of youthful hubris. Their secret weapon? The Crucible exercises, a name that sounds like it was pulled straight from a video game manual. Every 6 weeks, like clockwork, Anduril's engineers gather for these crucibles, pushing their systems to the absolute limit. It's like a hackathon meets boot camp, if boot camp involved debugging AI and teaching drones to do backflips. These exercises are so intense, they make traditional defense contractors' idea of rapid prototyping look like a leisurely game of chess by mail. While the old guard is still drafting memos about potentially considering the possibility of maybe updating their software sometime this decade, Anduril is already on its 47th iteration. Their software-defined systems are so cutting-edge, they make the Pentagon's tech look like it runs on an abacus. This approach allows Anduril to adapt to new threats faster than you can say geopolitical instability. Enemy developed a new jamming system? No problem. Anduril's already got a countermeasure in beta testing before the ink on the intelligence report is dry. But it's not just about speed. Anduril's systems are designed to be as flexible as a yoga instructor with a liberal arts degree. Their Lattice operating system can integrate with everything from legacy radar systems to the latest in quantum sensors, creating a network so comprehensive it probably knows what you had for breakfast. This software-centric approach gives Anduril a significant edge in the increasingly digital battlefield. While traditional defense contractors are still trying to figure out how to make their tanks tweet, Anduril is building AI systems that can coordinate entire theaters of operation while simultaneously winning at chess and composing haiku. Of course, this rapid development cycle isn't without its risks. When you're moving at the speed of Silicon Valley in an industry where a glitch could mean more than just a crashed app, there's always the potential for some spectacular failures. But Anduril seems to thrive on this high-wire act, treating national defense like it's a game of Jenga played with live explosives. Their rapid ascent hasn't gone unnoticed. The defense establishment, initially dismissive of these tech upstarts, started paying attention when Anduril began racking up contracts faster than a politician collects campaign promises. The deployment of their Sentry Tower system along U.S. borders was like a neon sign announcing their arrival on the big stage. Suddenly, the company that sounded like a rejected Lord of the Rings character name was being taken seriously. But it was the $100 million deal with the Australian Ministry of Defence that really turned heads. Anduril waltzed into the international defence market like it was a backyard barbecue, serving up autonomous underwater vehicles instead of shrimp on the Barbie. This contract wasn't just a win, it was a declaration that Anduril was ready to play in the global sandbox. The numbers tell a story so impressive you'd think they were cooked up by a Silicon Valley PR firm on a caffeine bender. Anduril's revenue skyrocketed from a mere $236 million in 2022 to an estimated $420 million in 2023. That's a 78% year-over-year increase, the kind of growth that makes traditional defense contractors break out in a cold sweat. But wait, there's more. Anduril is projecting revenues of $1 billion for 2024. That's right, they're planning to more than double their revenue in a single year. It's the kind of ambitious goal that makes most CFOs reach for the antacids, but for Anduril, it's just another day at the office. This meteoric rise isn't just about impressive numbers on a spreadsheet. It's a clear signal that Anduril is carving out a significant slice of the defense market pie. They're not just nipping at the heels of the established players, they're taking bites out of their lunch. The company's success in securing these contracts and achieving this financial growth demonstrates a level of competitiveness that's sending shockwaves through the global defense market. Traditional contractors are suddenly finding themselves in a race they didn't even know had started, scrambling to keep up with a company that seems to be playing by an entirely different rulebook. Anduril's rapid contract wins and financial growth are more than just impressive stats. They're a testament to the company's ability to deliver on its promises of innovation and efficiency. In an industry where projects often run years behind schedule and billions over budget, Anduril's track record is nothing short of revolutionary. But the question remains, is this growth sustainable? Can Anduril continue to innovate at this breakneck pace without stumbling? The defense industry is littered with the remains of companies that burned bright and fast, only to fizzle out when faced with the harsh realities of government contracting. Anduril's business model is as disruptive as its technology. While traditional defense contractors rely on the cost-plus model, essentially guaranteeing a profit margin regardless of efficiency, Anduril sells its products as commercial items at a firm fixed price. It's like they're running a high-tech lemonade stand in the middle of a bureaucratic desert. This approach allows Anduril to target much higher margins than the industry standard. While the average defense contractor is content with a measly 8 to 10% profit, Anduril is aiming for SaaS-like 40 to 50% gross margins on its hardware-software systems. It's as if they've discovered a way to turn military-grade aluminum into gold. But this model isn't without its challenges. The defense industry's notoriously long sales cycles make Silicon Valley's idea of long-term planning look like a game of whack-a-mole. According to Scott Sanders, an early Anduril employee, it typically takes 18 to 24 months minimum to get into a major program. That's longer than the lifespan of some startups. To navigate these glacial timelines, Anduril has had to adapt. The company has raised significant capital through large fundraises, providing the financial runway needed to weather the long wait times between contract bids and awards. It's like they're playing a high-stakes game of financial Jenga, carefully stacking funds to support their towering ambitions. Anduril's approach to R&D is equally unorthodox. While traditional contractors often wait for government funding before embarking on new projects, Anduril privately finances its research and development. This allows them to move at the speed of innovation rather than the speed of bureaucracy. It's as if they've strapped a rocket booster to the typically plodding pace of defense R&D. This privately funded R&D model gives Anduril a significant advantage in adaptability. They can pivot quickly to address emerging threats or customer needs without waiting for the glacial pace of government appropriations. In a world where geopolitical landscapes can shift overnight, this agility could prove to be a game changer. However, this approach is not without risks. By front-loading their R&D costs, Anduril is betting big on their ability to secure contracts down the line. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that could either cement their position as a defense industry disruptor or leave them overextended and vulnerable. The company's focus on software-defined systems also sets it apart from traditional hardware-centric defense contractors. Anduril's products are designed to be continuously updated, allowing for rapid deployment of new features and capabilities without requiring hardware replacements. It's like they're treating military hardware like a smartphone, with regular software updates that can dramatically enhance capabilities overnight. This software-first approach aligns well with the Department of Defense's increasing focus on digital transformation and AI-driven solutions. As warfare becomes increasingly digital, Anduril's expertise in these areas could prove to be a significant competitive advantage. But the question remains, can Anduril maintain this pace of innovation and growth? The defense industry is notorious for its boom and bust cycles, and many promising startups have found themselves crushed under the weight of their own ambitions. Enter Palmer Luckey, Anduril's founder and resident political firebrand. Luckey's $10,000 donation to an anti-Hillary Clinton group in 2016 wasn't just a blip on the radar. It was a seismic event that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley. The fallout from this political misstep led to his departure from Facebook-owned Oculus, but it also set the stage for Anduril's unapologetic stance on defense technology. While other tech companies were busy distancing themselves from military contracts faster than you can say ethical AI, Anduril leaned into the defense sector with all the subtlety of a bull in a china shop. Their work on Project Maven, a controversial AI initiative for the Pentagon, raised eyebrows and hackles in equal measure. But Luckey and Anduril weren't content to just ruffle feathers. They wanted to rewrite the entire playbook. In a landscape where tech giants were facing employee revolts over defense contracts, Anduril positioned itself as the rebellious outsider, the company willing to do what others wouldn't. This stance has been both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it's opened doors in the defense industry that might have remained firmly shut to a more timid startup. On the other, it's made Anduril a lightning rod for criticism from those who view Silicon Valley's involvement in defense as a Faustian bargain. Navigating this political minefield requires more than just technological prowess. It demands a keen understanding of the Byzantine world of defense contracting. Enter Christian Brose, Anduril's head of strategy and former top staffer with the Senate Armed Services Committee. Brose's hiring in November 2018 was a clear signal that Anduril was serious about playing the long game in Washington. With Brose at the helm of strategy, Anduril has been able to leverage its technological innovations into concrete political capital. His deep understanding of the defense procurement process and connections on Capitol Hill have helped the company navigate the labyrinthine world of government contracts with the finesse of a seasoned political operative. But Anduril's political savvy isn't just about greasing the wheels of bureaucracy. The company has positioned itself as a key player in the ongoing debate about the future of warfare and the role of AI in national defense. In its white paper filed with the Defense Department's National AI Strategic Plan, Anduril urged officials to consider China's ambitious approach to AI technology, citing the country's multi-billion-dollar national investment initiative to support moonshot projects, startups, and academic research in AI. This isn't just fear-mongering. It's a calculated move to align Anduril's interests with broader national security concerns. By framing their work as essential to maintaining America's technological edge, Anduril has managed to turn potential controversy into a patriotic mission. Of course, this political maneuvering hasn't been without its challenges. The regulatory landscape surrounding autonomous weapons systems remains as murky as a foggy battlefield. International discussions on the regulation of these technologies are ongoing, and any resulting agreements could have significant implications for Anduril's market potential. But rather than shy away from these challenges, Anduril seems to relish them. The company's approach to product development and testing is designed to stay ahead of both regulatory hurdles and technological obsolescence. Their regular crucible exercises, conducted every 6 weeks, push their capabilities to the limit across hardware, software, manufacturing, testing, and operations. This iterative testing process allows Anduril to identify and resolve technical issues at a pace that makes traditional defense contractors look like they're moving in slow motion. It's an approach that's particularly well-suited to the development of autonomous systems, where the ability to adapt quickly to new challenges is crucial. Take, for example, Anduril's Altius 600 drone. This autonomous aircraft, part of Anduril's product suite following the acquisition of Area I, has been deployed in Ukraine, providing a real-world test of its capabilities in an active conflict zone. The lessons learned from this deployment can be quickly incorporated into future iterations of the system, ensuring that Anduril's products remain at the cutting edge of defense technology. But drones are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Anduril's product line. The company's Lattice operating system serves as the backbone for many of its offerings, integrating various sensors and systems in real time to create a comprehensive battlefield awareness platform. It's like a central nervous system for military operations, processing vast amounts of data to provide actionable intelligence at superhuman speeds. Complementing Lattice is a range of hardware designed to push the boundaries of what's possible in defense technology. The Sentry Tower system, deployed along the U.S.-Mexico and U.S.-Canada borders, demonstrates Anduril's ability to tackle complex surveillance challenges with innovative solutions. These autonomous watchtowers use advanced AI algorithms to detect and track potential threats, providing border agents with a level of situational awareness that was previously unimaginable. But perhaps the most intriguing addition to Anduril's arsenal is the Dive LD autonomous underwater vehicle. This submersible drone, the subject of a $100 million contract with the Australian Ministry of Defence, represents Anduril's expansion into naval warfare. The Dive LD is designed to operate in the challenging underwater environment, conducting reconnaissance missions and potentially even engaging in anti-submarine warfare. Its development highlights Anduril's ability to adapt its core technologies to new domains, expanding its potential market and challenging established naval defense contractors. But Anduril's ambitions don't stop at the water's edge. The company's participation in military exercises like Valiant Shield demonstrates its ability to integrate its systems into complex, multi-domain operations. During this exercise, Anduril provided geographically distributed command and control capabilities, linking dozens of locations including field training sites, watch floors, and headquarters around the world. This seamless integration of Anduril's technology into existing military infrastructure showcases the company's potential to revolutionize not just individual systems, but entire operational paradigms. As Anduril's product line expands and its operational footprint grows, so too does its manufacturing capacity. The development of Arsenal 1, a 500,000 square foot facility designed to produce tens of thousands of autonomous military systems annually, represents a significant step in Anduril's evolution from scrappy startup to major defense player. This massive investment in production capacity signals Anduril's confidence in future demand for its products and its ability to secure large-scale contracts. This confidence seems well-founded, given Anduril's recent financial performance. The company recorded $670 million in new contracts in 2023, a 50% increase from the previous year. This surge in contract wins isn't just impressive on its own. It's a clear indicator that Anduril's disruptive approach is gaining traction in the notoriously conservative defense market. But perhaps the most eye-popping figure is Anduril's projection of $1 billion in revenue for 2024. This ambitious target would represent more than a doubling of the company's 2023 revenue, a growth rate that would make even the most bullish Silicon Valley unicorns blush. If achieved, this milestone would cement Anduril's status as a major player in the defense industry, capable of competing head-to-head with established giants. However, this rapid growth and ambitious expansion also raise questions about Anduril's ability to scale effectively. The defense industry is littered with cautionary tales of companies that grew too fast, overextended themselves, and ultimately failed to deliver on their promises. As Anduril expands its product line, increases its manufacturing capacity, and takes on larger and more complex contracts, it will need to carefully manage its resources and maintain the agility that has been key to its success so far. Moreover, Anduril's international expansion, while opening up new markets and opportunities, also exposes the company to additional regulatory and geopolitical risks. The defense industry is heavily regulated, and navigating the complex web of international arms control agreements, export restrictions, and national security concerns can be challenging, even for established players. Anduril's ability to continue its rapid growth will depend in part on its skill in navigating these treacherous waters. Despite these challenges, Anduril's trajectory remains impressive. The company's ability to secure major contracts, expand into new domains, and project such ambitious revenue growth suggests that its disruptive approach is resonating with military customers. As traditional defense contractors scramble to keep up with Anduril's pace of innovation, the company seems poised to disrupt the industry further. However, the question on everyone's mind is whether Anduril's meteoric rise, culminating in a staggering $14 billion valuation, is truly justified, or simply the product of Silicon Valley hype. To put this valuation into perspective, it's worth comparing Anduril to established defense giants. Lockheed Martin, the largest defense contractor in the world, has a market cap of around $115 billion, with annual revenues exceeding $65 billion. General Dynamics, another major player, is valued at approximately $70 billion, with yearly revenues of $40 billion. In contrast, Anduril's projected $1 billion revenue for 2024, while impressive for a young company, seems almost quaint in comparison. Yet Anduril's supporters argue that the company's value lies not in its current revenue, but in its potential to revolutionize the defense industry. The company's software-first approach and rapid development cycles position it uniquely to address emerging threats in ways that traditional contractors simply cannot match. As one industry analyst put it, Anduril isn't just building better weapons. They're reimagining how wars are fought and won in the digital age. However, skeptics point out that Anduril faces significant challenges as it scales up. Manufacturing tens of thousands of autonomous systems annually is a far cry from producing prototypes, and the company will need to prove it can deliver on its promises consistently and at scale. Moreover, as Anduril expands internationally, it will face increasingly complex regulatory hurdles and geopolitical considerations that could slow its growth. There's also the question of competition. While Anduril has made waves with its innovative approach, other tech companies are also eyeing the defense sector. Palantir Technologies, for instance, has been making inroads with its data analytics platforms, while SpaceX has become a major player in space-based defense systems. As the field becomes more crowded, Anduril may find it harder to maintain its edge. Furthermore, the defense industry is notoriously cyclical, subject to shifting political winds and budget priorities. A change in administration or a shift in global tensions could dramatically alter defense spending patterns, potentially leaving Anduril overexposed. Despite these challenges, proponents of Anduril's valuation point to the company's track record of securing major contracts and its ability to attract top talent from both the tech and defense sectors. They argue that Anduril's valuation reflects not just its current capabilities, but its potential to capture a significant share of the $2 trillion global defense market. Anduril isn't just another defense contractor, says a venture capitalist who has invested in the company. They're positioning themselves as the operating system for modern warfare. If they succeed, $14 billion will look like a bargain. Critics, however, caution that such lofty valuations can create unrealistic expectations and put undue pressure on the company to deliver results quickly. The defense industry moves slowly for a reason, warns a former Pentagon official. Rushing development or cutting corners to meet investor expectations could have serious consequences when lives are on the line. Ultimately, the justification for Anduril's $14 billion valuation remains a matter of debate. While the company's innovative approach and rapid growth are undeniable, questions remain about its ability to scale, navigate complex regulatory environments, and maintain its technological edge in an increasingly competitive field. As one industry observer put it, Anduril's valuation is either a prescient bet on the future of defense technology or a cautionary tale in the making. Only time will tell which it is. What is clear, however, is that Anduril has already succeeded in shaking up the defense industry. Whether its $14 billion valuation proves justified or not, the company has forced established players to rethink their approach to innovation and opened up new possibilities for how military technology is developed and deployed. As the dust settles on Anduril's latest funding round, All eyes will be on the company to see if it can live up to the hype and truly revolutionize the defense industry. The stakes are high, not just for Anduril and its investors, but for the future of warfare itself.